Who you gonna call? K, good stuff. Although in this case the Ghostbusters would be the right ones to stop the wreaking havoc of our newest Pokemon in our guide. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pokemon Unite Gengar guide. Today we're gonna have a look how to play it most effectively on the battlefield, which moves we have to our disposal, and what battle and health items are the most effective when fighting with Gengar in Pokemon Unite. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. If you're someone new, welcome to my channel. My name's Kay, and if you don't know already, I have a bet for you. If you can take anything interesting, helpful, some new tips and tricks or strategies from this guide, I would be tremendously happy if you could support the channel with a subscription and this video with a like. With this, you're not only supporting me, but also supporting our ever-growing community of Pokemon Unite players. We can get together and learn how to play the game in the most effective way, get better all together, and then climb those ranked ladders. With that said, let's jump right into it. Gengar has a difficulty expert and is a melee speedster using special attack type damage. It has 4 stars in mobility, 3.5 in offense and 3 in scoring. Gengar likes jungling the most, but you can also fight on the top and bottom lane. Let's have a look at the moves and all the other things that are important when playing with Gengar. We're starting out on level 1 as Ghastly, evolving to Haunter at level 5 and then getting to Gengar at level 9. The first 2 moves we can choose between are Will-O-Wisp and Lick. Will-O-Wisp shoots multiple sinister flames, dealing not only damage to enemy Pokemon, but also leaving them burned when it hits. And Lick attacks the user with the tongue and pulls opposing Pokemon towards us. Like we've said, Gengar feels very well in the jungle, but for this case of the tutorial, I'm going to the top lane to show you all the moves. When starting out, I'll always take Will-O-Wisp, because you can hit multiple enemies and you're burning your foes, so you can get additional damage and increase your jungle, or if you're fighting on a lane, your lane clearing speed. The second ability you have to your disposal is Lick, and when using it, you getting enemy Pokemon closer to you, and you can get them back to you when they're trying to escape or get away from your fiercey attacks. On level 5, with the evolution to Haunter, we can choose between Shadow Ball and Sludge Bomb. Shadow Ball hurls a shadowy blob at the target, decreasing not only the movement speed and special defense of the enemy Pokemon for a short time, but also dealing a good amount of damage. At level 11, we unlock Shadow Ball Plus, which also increases the damage dealt by this move. Sludge Bomb throws some sludge to the designated area, leaving the enemy Pokemon poisoned when it hits. And at level 11 we unlock Sludge Bomb Plus, which increases the poison effect's duration. At level 5 with the evolution to Haunter we get our first ability, and in this case we're gonna have a look at Shadow Ball. You're hurling this ball at the enemies and dealing damage for all the enemies in the path of this move. So you see, this gets a little bit of range, or a very good amount of range for Gengar in this case, so you can snipe down enemies and hit them even if they're trying to get away from you, combining with your other moves with status conditions or appearing and disappearing in the fight. The other ability we can choose is Sludge Bomb, and you see we have very good range, hitting in an area of effect, radius, and when hitting down, all the enemy Pokemon in this area will get poisoned. So you have some dots, so damage over time, which helps you not only with the damage overall output, but in combination with your other move you have to your disposal, where we're gonna have a look at it in a second, that's Hex. You're gonna see what tremendous damage you can do when fighting with Gengar. At level 7 we have the second choice of moves, Dream Eater and Hex. Dream Eater puts opposing Pokemon to sleep when it hits. If it's used again while nearby opposing Pokemon are asleep, Gengar appears behind it and attacks, restoring not only our HP, but also reducing the cooldown of Shadow Ball or Sludge Bomb. At level 13, Dream Eater Plus is unlocked, which also increases the amount of damage which is dealt and the HP restored by this move. And the other move, Hex, will mostly be like the move you got hit the most when fighting against Gengar. This lets us disappear and move to the designated location, dealing damage to enemy Pokemon in the area of effect when we're reappearing. If we hit an enemy Pokemon that is afflicted by a status condition, like for example poison, it deals increased damage and the cooldown is reduced. At level 13, Hex Plus will be unlocked, which increases the damage dealt by this move. So you maybe see a good combination when fighting with Gengar, but more on that later on. And the second ability we get at level 7, let's have a look at Dream Eater. Like we've said, you're putting enemy Pokemon into sleep, and when using it again, you see a red light above the head. You can jump down there, restore your HP and deal a good amount of damage, in addition to the CC from the sleep, because when they are sleeping, they cannot move away. So let's again, on this Apen, it's sleeping, we are jumping behind it and then hitting it, getting back HP and dealing damage. It's a very good ability, you can try to use it, but again, those two moves are not those I would recommend when fighting with Gengar at the moment, but we'll see what the other two can do. And now we're gonna have a look at the second one at level 7, and that's Hex. Combined with Sludge Bomb, that's the real humongous damage boost you have with Gengar. First of all, using Sludge Bomb, and then using Hex, and you see, we can use it all the time. In this case, we have no cooldowns because we have disabled them, but normally when enemies are affected by status condition, like poison in this case, you can poison them, and Hex not only dealing additional damage, but the cooldown is almost increased to 0. So you can strike 4 or 5 times with Hex and get down to the enemies because you're always jumping. And you see, Hex also has a very good range, so that's helping you when striking down your enemies. You see, this is also the combination I mostly like to use when fighting with Gengar, because when positioned Sludge Bomb right and then fighting with Hex, you can really be a quick attacker and then make the life of the enemies really troublesome. So if you want to try it out, have fun and see what Sludge Bomb and Hex can do in a fight like this. And at level 9, we evolve to Gengar and unlocking our Unite move, Phantom Ambush. This lets us jump to the designated area, and we start sneaking with increased movement speed. If we use this Unite move again, it deals damage to the enemy Pokemon in the area of effect and decreases the movement speed of them for a short time. With the evolution to Gengar, we unlocking at level 9 our Unite move. And when using it, you see we are getting into the shadows, nobody can see us, and we had quite a good amount of time to get to our next enemy. When using it close, we have an area of effect range, and then we can hit them and slowing down their movement. So it's a very good chance with a combination of body barrier to get either away, get more sustainability, or to strike down enemies when they're trying to get away. Once again, we are getting down, having a very good movement speed increase and hitting from the shadows. Combining it with any other ability gives us again a nice attack pattern with boosted moves. And of course, we also have a passive ability. In this case, it's Levitate. When we're not in combat, the movement speed is increased. Keep in mind, you have to stop fighting for almost 40 seconds to get out of combat. And the basic attack will be boosted with every third hit, which lets us lunge at enemy Pokemon and dealing additional damage. Now let's take a look at the battle items, and of course I can also recommend here eject button. You know this, you have a dash ability almost every 70 seconds, you can get into combat quickly or get out of pesky situations if you have the need to. But like we've seen, Gengar is also very good for scoring goals, so also goal getter is a valuable option because you can increase the speed when scoring down those points, and combined with the right items, you can increase your damage even further. If you want to play a little bit more glass cannon, you can also choose Axe Attack, which not only increases the attack but also the special attack, which is important for Gengar, or Axe Speed if you want to have more movement speed to hunt down enemies. But in my case, I mostly choose eject button because this is the most valuable option, because the dash is very good and you can dash through walls. So when we're talking about battle items, it's also the time for the question of the day. I want to know from you, who is your favorite ghost-type Pokemon? Through all the generations, let me know which ghost-type Pokemon is your most favorite. I want to see it. Write it down into the comments. Let's have a look at the health items I recommend for Gengar. First, there are Wise Glasses. Not only we get a flat increase of special attack, but also it will be increased by a certain percentage depending on the level of the item. Then, Body Barrier. The 400 HP are very good at the beginning, but most likely you have to take it for the passive, because when you use your Unite move, you and your ally Pokemon with the lowest amount of HP will get a shield based on the max HP and to a percentage based on the level of Body Barrier. This can help to turn around situations where you thought that you cannot win anymore. And the third slot depends on the playstyle you want to use. In this case, you can take Focus Band. Not only you get increased defense and special defense, but also restore HP based on a certain percentage when you have a low amount. But like I said before, Gengar is good at scoring, so you can also take some other items, like in this case the special attack specs. This not only increases your special attack further by a flat amount, but also increases your special attack every time you score. So that means when getting quick scores, and this is also enough to get 1 point down the goal, you increase your special attack up to 6 times by, in my case because they're level 10, by 12. And the last recommendation I can give you is Score Shield. Not only the HP, but more so the shield effect when trying to score a goal, and you cannot get interrupted while doing this. So with the quick movement speed and all the abilities you have to your disposal, you can get a real scoring machine with Gengar. Now we've seen the progression, all the moves, which held and battle items are the most effective with Gengar, and now let's take a look at some gameplay scenes where I've been fighting with it to show you what you can do and what you should do, depending on the situation you are in the match. So let's have a look. This is a good example how properly jungling works. You see, we are at level 5, so we are in a level advantage, and this Rolls doesn't stand a chance, because with Lick we can get it back to us, and Sludge Bomb gives us the additional damage boost we need to strike it down and to help our bottom lane to win the early fights and to gain more experience to have the upper hand later on. This scene shows very well how good we can be offensive, but also get away with our sustainability aspect of the moves. You see Sludge Bomb and Hex, the very good combination with almost no cooldown, and we have Rolls against Machamp. We are fighting and we get down the first one, but we are getting quite in a pity. So first we are having eject button, then with Hex away, back to our goal, getting the Papaya, fighting against, and now it's a close battle. And I have to be honest, we had a little bit of luck, but you see how strong Hex can be when chaining it together, so we can win the fight. And here again, we see how effective the movement aspect is, even if we are behind the enemy zone. And you shouldn't do this always, because inting is not very good. But you see, even because of that, we trying to score, we can't. Machamp is trying to disturb us, but with the use of Hex and getting away his berry, we are very effective and can strike it down, and we have won the fight and can score now 40 points. That's very effective, and again, Killia is getting down too. So that's again a win for the bottom lane. Now we see how effective Shadow Ball with Dream Eater can be. Because after using Dream Eater, Shadow Ball cooldown is reset, we can strike 3 times. First with Shadow Ball, Dream Eater hitting, we are getting back HP, and Shadow Ball is again ready. And this is a very good burst damage that we can use to strike down enemy Pokemon. Here we see how effective we can track down enemies with Gengar. Fighting here with Shadow Ball and trying to land Dream Eater, but we get interrupted, so we're getting on the jump pad because the enemy is trying to get away. We are trying to hit it with Shadow Ball, not hitting Dream Eater, and we get back HP and win the fight, standing out better than before. Here we see again how much survivability we get with the combination Shadow Ball and Dream Eater. Fighting against Snorlax and Lucario, we can strike it down one by one. First Snorlax, then we get our cooldowns ready again. Dream Eater hitting Lucario, we striking it, getting back 500 HP, having our HP high, and with the fighting power of our team, we can secure the lane. And here we see how effective our Unite move can be, especially when using it with Body Barrier. You see, very many enemies are there. We are getting down to our Unite move, striking 1 down, striking also the second down, getting 2 KOs, and having time to score 40 points in combination with our health items, getting more special attack in that way too. And I especially wanted to show you this scene because now we've lost Zapdos. We were behind, but because the enemies weren't tracking down right and we had the power of a level 15 Gengar, we can use our Unite move, getting the damage to the enemy, striking down first Greninja, and then you see on the top that Machamp is trying to score, but again with Alolan Ninetales getting the top 2, they didn't stand a chance to score any points, and this was also how we won this fight. You see, our spooky companion is very capable of dealing tremendous damage, getting down those good scores and winning matches in Pokemon Unite. If you have learned anything new, like new strategies, tips and tricks, or just some informative and funny facts about your beloved ghost Pokemon, I'd be tremendously happy if you could support this video with a like and the channel with a subscription. Like I said in the beginning, you're not only helping me, but also help the channel as a whole and growing a community with people who love Pokemon Unite and want to get better, to improve the gameplay and also to climb all those ranked ladders. And don't think I forgot it, we had a bet from the beginning. So if anything of this is true, I'd be really happy if you could do this like we've said. So now you've seen everything about Gengar, what's important and how to play it right. If you had fun, I'm very happy that I could sweeten your time in Pokemon Unite, and I'll be happy if you have a look at all the other guides and the other videos about this game. That's all I have to say. My name's Kay, thanks for tuning back in, and see you